Life is an adventure, baby. What are you waiting for? You can achieve the life you've always wanted and a life of adventure. In other words, a life that others only dream about. And now, here is your host, Bud Brown.
Hello, everybody. This is Bud Brown, living in Dumaguete City, Philippines. This is January 2nd, and Saturday. It's a great day. Not in the least because got paid today, so drinks on the house. Went out and had a good breakfast this morning with coffee, local coffee shop, Tom and Tom's. But in this video, I wanted to talk with you about some things that I've been wanting to talk with someone or many people for a long time. And it's things that are different than when I came here in the Philippines in 1971. When I was in the Navy, I was at this time I was 21 years old. A young man, and the first time in this part of the world. And so everything was so exotic. Oh, I just loved it. And I remember even after I got out for many years afterwards, I dreamed of the good times that I had here. You know, going to the nightclubs and dancing and everybody having a good time and all the strange sights that I never saw in Central California, where I was born and raised. And some of the things, and I was expecting to see those things when I came here 45 years later. So I wanted to ask you, I'm not seeing these things because, one, it's been 45 years later. Two, maybe because I'm in a different part of the Philippines. I was stationed in Zambales province, Luzon. And that's way up north. Well, here's my map. Here I am here. This is Negros, Dumaguete. I was stationed up here, Zambales, and Manila is down here. So this along the coast there. So there's a large mountainous, well, all over there's mountains, but a lot of the mountain people came down there. So this may be the difference between people that live out in the mountains and the people that live here in the city where I live. So anyway, I would like the ones that Filipinos that live here, or expats that have been here a long time, or just anyone that may know the answers to my questions. First thing I noticed, a lot of the men had a long, pinky fingernail. And I had asked somebody, what's up with the long fingernail? They said to scratch their ears, scratch their nose, and that was also fashionable. Okay, well, I don't see that here now. Why? Unless it's there and I'm not seeing it, you know, it escapes my attention. So tell me what you think about that. Number two, used to be a lot of, most young men, boys, carried a coin in their ear. And so I was told that it was for, it's easier to give change like this than to reach in your pocket. I don't know. But I don't see that anymore here. Is it a generation thing? Is it a logistics thing? Or it's just a fashion thing that's no longer in fashion? Number three. Now, this one is really strange, but it was to me and it may not be to you. I remember sitting, and the buses there were called Victory Liners. Here it's called, well, their Series is the main bus line, but they're a Victory Liner. Sitting in the bus, and I would watch this elderly lady. She would have this, like a cigarette, but it was brown, kind of like a little cigar, a miniature cigar. She would light it, and the strange thing, she turned it around, put it in her mouth, the fire goes inside the mouth, and the smoke would come out her nostrils. I tried not to stare, but I couldn't help it. I've never seen such a thing. So tell me, and I haven't seen it here at all. Is that a mountain thing? Is it a generation thing? Is it a geographical thing where I live now? Have you seen it? Or do you smoke that way? So I'm very curious about that. And another thing, betel nut. I know in Southeast Asia, this part of the world, and maybe other places too, there's a nut called a betel nut. And it's, I'm told it's slightly narcotic, so it kind of gives you a buzz. And a lot of the older people, they chew it kind of like chewing tobacco, or keep it in their gums, I guess. And it's kind of like chewing tobacco. And I remember seeing little red juice. It's red, the juice is. And it stains the teeth. So when the older people would smile, you would see this red stained, I say red, not bright red, but it's kind of a maroon or a darker red. And now that is a good segue onto the next and the last thing I wanted to ask you. The Sniff kiss. I was told that because of the betel juice and the lips being juicy, the grandmas, when they're babysitting, they didn't want to kiss with their lips to the baby, but they would, the head is here, and they would just like kiss like that. And I'll tell you a little secret, don't tell my wife. When I was in Vietnam, had a, well, it wasn't a girlfriend, but it was a date, and we were sitting, I think watching a movie outside. Yeah, movie. And she reaches over, like her head comes over, and I think she is going to give me a kiss on the cheek. So I'll just say my cheek is here. She leans over and she goes like that, sniffs on my cheek. I'm thinking, what the heck? But their noses, like Filipino noses, and a lot of people here, they're shorter, and the nostrils are kind of goes out a little bit. But we big nose Westerners, you know, our nostrils are pointing down, so it's kind of hard to, but they can just come straight up like that. Matter of fact, I'm going to ask Gloria, and she, when we got married, she did that, and it turns out to be some gesture of affection. So I'm going to see if I can get in get her in here to give me a little sniff kiss on the cheek. That's my girl. I love you too. So anyway, if you're interested in this and you don't know what I'm talking about, you can look it up on Google. I did. I looked up long pinky nail. I looked up coin in the ear. I looked up reverse smoking. And I looked up sniff kiss. And they talk about it. So anyway, educate me, get me updated on why I don't see those things here in Dumaguete anymore. So Till next time, catch you later. Bye bye.